So, hello everyone, we are learning the subject of your circuit theory or the network analysis. So, in this, we will study today the introductory part. We will see the introductory part related to the chapter number 6, that is on the transmission line. So, welcome you all. So, we will start the session on the transmission line. We will see here what is the importance, why we are learning this chapter, that is the transmission line. So few things which are introductory part of your the transmission line. Today we will see here the theoretical part. So the transmission line theory, or you can say the transmission line, why it's required. So in an electronic system, the delivery of the power requires the connection of the two wires between the source and the load, that we are aware. We require always, whenever we are having the two parallel lines, so definitely we are having always the two parallel lines. In that parallel lines, various kinds of active and the passive elements are connected, that we know very well. The active and the passive elements of the sources along with your the loads, and here we are treating as a load of the components which are connected to the circuitry is nothing but the RLC network or the circuit, whereas the sources are here we can consider the voltage source as well as the current source. The type may be the different, that is a voltage control, current control. Likewise, already we have studied in the unit number 1, the sources, classification of the sources. Okay. The thing is here, in short, you can remember in any kind of electronic system, if you are saying that this is electronic system, so definitely the power requires, and that power's connection will be in the form of the two things, that is nothing but you are the source along with you are the load. Source gives the what we can say the current which is flowing to the entire circuitry, whereas a voltage we are taking as a potential across that components. Okay, and which component we are using here? The components are nothing but you are the passive components R and C. Okay, so that may be connected in the series, that may be connected in the parallel. So in the two parallel connection of the two wire connection, that will be used for the transmission line to get the benefit. Okay, so for the long distances, we used to take the benefit of the transmission line, which is the physical two wire lines. Okay, and for the transmitting the signal from the one place to another place for the large distance, we prefer this is the one of the medium you can say for the transmitting the signals. Okay, with the help of the antennas, also for the transmitting and the receiving antennas, and that traveling the signals in between with the help of this transmission line. So the other is nothing but in the microwave frequency region. So the power will be considered in the electrical as well as the magnetic fields, no doubt at all. If you're talking about the huge what we can say the frequencies, so at that time definitely we talk about the EM waves or the EM fields, that is nothing but the electric as well as the magnetic field. The combination of both, that is nothing but the electric and the magnetic field. So if we are interested and we want the 3D form, we want to observe how my signals are passing, traveling, okay, in the vertical form, in the horizontal, and one will be the slanting, that is in the 3D sections. Okay, so that time you can prefer the EM waves for the larger frequency ranges. Okay, so in short, you can say in the microwave guides or the microwaves is also one of the medium, just like with the transmission line for the higher range of the frequency we can prefer. Okay, this is the physical structure or simply the physical connections. Okay, so that's why we are required. Okay, this is wired and the wireless, two things are there, but we are learning this transmission line with the physical wired connections. Okay, and we are connecting the signals that is in the form of your the electric as well as the magnetic field. Okay, and we are having the huge range of the frequency. So in the form of your microwave frequency ranges. So in the form of even your the wave electromagnetic wave, which is placed on that two wires, is nothing but treated as a transmission lines. Okay. So here the various kinds of the transmission lines are available, or you can say in other words, the types of the transmission lines. So how we can place, what are the types, how the frequency ranges are differ for the depending upon the type, depending upon the applications. The transmission, in the transmission line, the signals will be travel, okay, from the one place to another place in the form of your the electromagnetic waves. So here one of the type is nothing but your the two wire lines, and the second is nothing but your the coaxial cable. Third is nothing but the waveguides, that is in the form of the circular and the rectangular, which is most widely used and applicable. Okay, and fourth is nothing but the planar transmission line. So all these are the, what you can say, the physical transmission lines, and with the help of that, the signals are traveling. Okay, from the one place to the another place, and the signals will get with the help of the transmitting antenna and will be received by the other end with the help of the what you can the receiving antenna, or and in between the transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna, there will be the medium that is nothing but in the form of the transmission line. And the cables which are required, or the medium which are required for traveling the waves from the one way to another way is nothing but these are listed here. That is a two-wire lines, coaxial cable, the waveguides that is in the form of a rectangle and the circular, the planar, and these are nothing but the strip lines, the microstrips, the slot, the fine, the coplanar, all these depending upon their shape, the size, and the what you can say, the depending upon that frequency ranges that will be used in the transmission line. Okay, so whenever you are going to analyze what is the difference between the low and the high frequency ranges, because we require the low as well as the high range frequency. So at a low frequency ranges, the circuit elements are lumped since the voltage and the current waves affects the entire circuits at the same time. So what is the meaning is that lumped and distributed. Already we have studied about the network elements. In that network elements, time varying, timing varying, the linear and the non-linear circuitry, the bilateral and the unilateral. Similarly, the lumped and the distributed, lumped combined, okay, and the distributed, just one of the example of distribution is nothing but with the transmission line, the component which are classified, the distributed with the help of the lines, okay, and the lumped, they are combined, okay. At a microwave frequency, such a treatment of elements, the voltage and the current waves do not affect the entire circuitry. In such case, means the entire circuit will not be affected. That is the voltage as well as the current. So in short, you can say the circuit must be broken down into the unit section within which the circuit elements are considered to be lumped. Okay, if they are combined, even though they are broken, but they are combinedly. Okay, so in the distribution, what you can say, the R, L, and C, they are distributed. Okay, the higher ranges. Okay, the higher ranges. In the lumped, the low frequency ranges will be there, and they are in the combined. Okay, so during that period, the wavelength as well as the what you can say, the voltage and the currents will not as such affected you, just like you are in the larger range of frequencies. In that cases, in the larger voltage and the frequency ranges, the voltage and the current both will be affected. Okay. So if you talk about the transmission line medium, so one of the cable which is used is nothing but the metallic cables. Okay, in that metallic cables. So what we need to study, or what we need to consider. So that is nothing but which type of the transmission line you are using, whether you are using the metallic, whether you are using the coaxial, whether you are using the other type of wire simply. So at that time, you also need to take care about whether the circuitry or the transmission line is balanced and unbalanced. That is possible with the help of the connection and their ratings, okay, and the voltage and everything. Similarly, in the metallic transmission line, you after getting that the balance and unbalance, you need to draw the equivalent circuitry of that metallic transmission line. You need to find out what is the wave propagation, whether the circuitry is lossy, whether the circuit is lossless, because all these are useful and we need to take care while we are talking about the power. So one of the theorem is nothing but the Poynting theorem in the electromagnetic. With the help of that, we are interested to find out the average amount of the power. That is a P average. We were interested in the electric as well as the magnetic field. So that the scientist which is invented, or the done the expressions or the derivation on the basis of the power, average power, with the help of finding the losses, with the help of finding the lossless as well as the lossy, the circuitry or the transmission line. So that theorem is nothing but the Poynting theorem. In that, we were interested not only to find out the average power, but also the vectors in the power vectors, that is P is equals to E cross H. E is nothing but the electric field, H is nothing but the magnetic field intensity. So the product of electric as well as, or the combination of electric and magnetic field, with the help of that, we were interested to find out the amount of the power. Similarly, the various phasor diagram, we are interested in the form of the current and the voltages to know whether the current is leading or lagging, whether the voltage is leading and the lagging, All these cases, we are interested to find out with the help of this phasor diagram, the things, the amount of the voltage, the amount of the currents in all respect, just like you are the peak voltage and the current, the peak, what we can say, the RMS value for the voltage and the current, so that we can find even the losses that is possible with the help of the Monting theorem and other thing that is also possible. You should know that is nothing but how we can find out the characteristics impedance, that is nothing but the eta. Okay, so that is possible with the help of the electric as well as the magnetic field, or in other way, we can calculate with the help of the medium. That medium is nothing but the permittivity and the permeability. So with the help of that also we can find the characteristics impedance, that is denoted by the eta. Okay, propagation constant. So that we know very well. Propagation constant is nothing but the gamma. Gamma is equals to alpha plus j of beta. That is attenuation constant and the phase constant. Attenuation constant plus phase constant alpha plus j beta. Okay, gamma is nothing but the propagation constant. Gamma is equals to, that is the real part as well as the imaginary, that is alpha plus j beta. Alpha is attenuation constant, beta is nothing but the phase constant. So in these cases, the real and the imaginary, we are interested not only the loss lesser, but the lossy things which are unnecessary signals. Okay, how the signals are disturbed, what are the things which are related. So that will come under which are the weak signatures. So all these things will come under the attenuation and all. Along with this one, we must know about the standing wave ratio or the reflection. So the standing wave gives the ratio about the maximum to minimum voltages range as well as the maximum to minimum current ranges. Okay, so here while you are going to plot any kind of what you can the switch chart, you have heard about that switch chart, one of the graph, one of the circle representation of the circle, in that we are interested to find out the register, we are interested to find out the reactances, we are interested to find out the impedances also in that switch chart. Okay, so one of the method by which you can simplify, we can find the unknown parameters. If you are having the few parameters, the rest of the unknown you can find with the help of the other method. So one of the method is nothing but the Smith chart. So the other part is nothing but in the standing waves. We are interested in the voltages, we are interested in the current, but that to ratio. What is the maximum value of the current? What is the minimum value of the current? What is the difference of that? Even the voltages, maximum voltage and the minimum voltage. So this ratio is nothing but the standing value ratio. Along with that, reflection. Okay, because might be you have studied in other subject, that is the reflection and the refraction. So if we are talking about the cable and the signals are traveling in that cables, so definitely how this what we can say externally the what we can say the what is velocity of the light will be travel, and the perpendicular will be reflected or incident on that cable, and they are reflected. That is too important. Okay, how they are going to be reflected. So reflection, incidence, and refraction. So all this will come in the picture to get to know about the polarizations, how the activation is going on, how the signals are traveling, what if the thing is going on, if the cables are used. Okay, because everything is going on inside the cable, and okay, signals are traveling. So signal, how the signals is reflected, how the signals is passes, how the signals. Just take the example of your the bouncing. If you talk about the cricket match or the cricket, simply while you are throwing the ball and the batsman is again getting hit to that ball, so definitely there will be the bouncing in many terms. So that is one of the example of the signals. So the light propagations, or the whenever the light will be propagate, the what is the velocity with the light will be perpendicular to that cable side inside, and that will be reflect incidence, then reflect and the reflect. Okay, these three cases will be happening in that section. So in this way, all these things you must remember while you are talking about the reflection, while you're talking about the standing wave, while you're talking about the characteristics, impedances, and the propagation constants, the phasor diagram. So all these points are related to the transmission medium, or simply when we are talking about the transmission. So that is one of the medium of your the waves of electromagnetic waves which are traveling from the one place to the another place. Even waveguides, microwaves are also the medium, one of the medium. So in the transmission lines, already we have studied about the we are aware that various types are Here for the transmission line, one is the cable, that is nothing but the coaxial cable, twisted pair, open wire, and the twin leads. These are the depending upon the shape, depending upon the covering codes, depending upon the colors, depending upon the material that they are classified and the types. Okay, so see here the few I have tried to so elaborate here the metallic transmission lines, how the open wire and the twin wires. So open wire on the both the side they are open. So here will be in the we are not interested here the antenna, transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna. Simply we are interested in the transmission line. Okay, so see here, if we talk about the transmitting and the receiving antenna, that part will be different. Okay, which type of antennas we are using, how that will be placed, how the longitude and latitude position, how they will catch, that will be the different issues. Okay, we are not interested in that at present. So we are interested only how my wave will be travel, that is electromagnetic wave will be travel in the transmission line. If we are treating that transmission line is one of the medium to pass the signals, to travel the signals from the one place to the another place. So see here two conductors and the spacing between these things, clips are there. Okay, clips are there. But how we are telling about this is the open wire just because at the input terminal as well as the output terminal, both the side they are open. So that's why open wire is the name or the title. And these are the clips of a metallic, okay, in between just to maintain the balance. So if you want to observe practically, so whenever you are going to travel with the car or the with the train or the you can say by any what we can say uh, the medium, with the help of that you can you can travel. So while you are going to travel, you just observe in the what we can say the cities, in the towns, or the roads. Okay, so you can observe easily okay, how the transmission lines are there, how the transmission lines are traveling, how the cables are passing from the one tower to the another tower. Okay, that is important. How the components are connected. Few you can observe, you can see by looking at the cables. Okay, so at the time you'll be able to observe for maintaining that cable because the distance is too large. So maintaining that cable, the cable should not be hanging position. That must be in the straight, but it's not practically possible the straight. At least more than 80 to 90% we try to keep it in the straight form. Okay, otherwise other issue will happen just like with the skin effect and other thing, the sag and all other issues will happen. So that's why here the clips, the spacers are maintained depending upon the distance. Okay. Similarly, twin leads are here. So one side the ended okay solid dielectric medium is there, that is a positive and the negative two conductors. And the see here the shape of that clips. Okay, so in this way you can find this is the twin leads. Twisted, okay, twisted pairs. So might be have seen in the what you can say the cable, any kind of cable, if the television type of the cable, if you are going for the Wi-Fi and other cables at the time also you might be have seen, okay. So this is nothing but the unshielded. Why we are saying the unshielded, see here the shape and the cuttings and all, this is the main cable and in that there is a various coloring type of the cable. So they are connected to, the see here the name itself indicating twisting, okay, how they are not in the straight form, they are in the twisting form, okay. So that leads are nothing but again the conductor and at the end of that you can the leads will come out, okay. So with the help of that also you can identify easily. Even this is one of the example of your the coaxial cable, how the conductor, how the different types of current cords, which things are nothing but the central conductors. These are the braided conductor, which is in the middle part. How the non-conducting insulators are there, how the jackets will be there to for the protections. Okay, because of that in the transmission lines, the cables are traveling in the space, maybe underground, maybe the ground, or maybe in the space. So depending upon that, you need to take care. The coating must be there so that only there will not be any kind of discontinuity in the signals. So here, if you are talking about the coaxial components, so definitely which terms will come under that? That is nothing but the conductors, particular coaxial sections, the attenuators, all this will come in the picture while you are talking about the coaxial components. Okay, while you are talking about the coaxial components. So connectors, so in the microwave coaxial connectors which are required to connect the coaxial lines. Okay, so that is nothing but the connector space. Okay, so why they mention here is the male and the females. Okay, just for identification. So by giving these notations, you can identify which cable is there, which is a male or which is a female. So they must match with the characteristics impedance of the thing while you're going to design. All this will come under the designing part. Okay, what will be, is a reflection coefficient? Okay, you can find whether it's a minimum or whether it's a high, whether the radiated power is a low or high. So all these things we can find easily while you are going to design the things in the conductor. Similarly, in the coaxial sections, the slips will be there. Okay, so we are interested for the matching impedances with the help of the loads. Okay, the source as well as the load matching, impedance matching is possible. So if proper matching is there, definitely you can say the amount of the signals which are traveling from the transmitting to the receiving end, that will be the good configured. Okay, you will get the proper signals at the end. Okay, so stepping is there. Okay, uh, at the middle every time the in each and every section. So to maintain the signals, the signal will not be going into the weaker form. So attenuators, we know very well for the reducing the power signal strength. So for making the signals in the what you can strength out that signals as we have used attenuators. Otherwise, it's that the weak signals are there in terms of the power. If you're saying in terms of the power, definitely we are talking about the voltage and the currents. So here, by using the various types of the attenuators, we can what can increase the strength of that signals is okay. So by using the fixed, by using the step, by using the variable attenuators, it is possible. Okay, so ensure the attenuators are the component which are reduced the amount of the power in the fixed amount of variable component depending upon that how you want that signal is, whether it's a signal is strong, whether it's a signal is weak, and depending upon that you can go ahead for that. You can use for this. Okay, so slide van is one of the attenuator. They work for the principle of where the resistive material plays in the parallel lines. Whenever you are having the parallel lines, whenever the current is flowing, so at that time the power losses are nothing but in terms of the I square R, because we know very well in terms, if you're talking about the power, P is equals to VI, P is equals to I square R, P is equals to V square by R. So they're depending upon which for which application you are finding that power losses. So here in the cable, just for the what can say the heating effect, and also we are treating is I square R. Flap attenuators, which are having just a drop in the wave or the waveguides and the slotted types. Okay, so here inside that the waveguides are important. One of the device which is used to take care about the range of the frequency. So that time we should know how that attenuators are connected. Rotary is one of the attenuators. So with the help of that, the depending upon the what you can say frequency in short you can say. So such type of devices are not they depend upon the frequencies. They are independent. So few will be the dependent, few will be the not the dependent like this. So in this, if you're talking about again the transmission lines or whether it's a metallic and other, so we should know the differential form, we should know the balancing form, whether they are equivalent or not, okay, how they are twisted, how and how they are parallel placed, okay, in the balanced mode. So here will be one amplifier, other will be other side, that is from the source to the destination sites. So amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, the signals which are traveling from the one place to the other place, that you can observe how the signals are high at the site and how the differential signals are voltages are there, how the signals are low side, how the signals are high side, how they are traveling from the down to up or from the top to the down bottom and the bottom to the top in the inside the wires cables, and how they will be travel, how the common mode voltage is there, how the earthing is there, because we know very well earth or ground underground is the possibility of the cable, and the over to earth, what you can say, the ground is also possible, and then the space is also possible. So depending upon the situation, how you are placed, that coaxial or metallic or the twisted and all, so you can find the rest of the things. So here again, if you talk about the ideal cases, ideally if you're thinking theoretically, if you're thinking, definitely no losses will be there. If you're talking about the no losses, definitely the conductor have a zero resistance, the dielectric has a zero conductance. The possible only when the superconductor is there, okay, and approximate the short lines are there. No capacitance or the inductance is possible with the real line. Okay, if you are using the DCs, okay, at the time, no capacitors or the inductors. This is the ideal case because we know very low the resistor, whenever we are talking about the sinusoidal, the R is in the phase, but the storing element L and C are nothing but the leading and the lagging. So definitely, if ideally we are talking, no role of your the L and the C. If you are the practical talking, definitely they will present, and if they are present, definitely leading and the lagging case will happen. If that is case happen, power losses will be there. There are various issues if you are talking about if you are placing the components. Now this is the equivalent circuitry of your ideal transmission line. Okay, all the electrical equivalent circuitry of your the transmission lines, where you can say this is the two wire, okay, parallel connected. See here, all of you pay attention here. So if we talk, see here the connections. Here the series connection, here the parallel connection. Series combination from the top and the bottom, middle is the parallel. Again the series from the top and the bottom, middle is the parallel. So if you observe the series as well as the parallel circuitry, you will be able to observe here the R and as well as the L in the entire line. The R as well as the L both are connected in series and they will be in series throughout the transmission line from the beginning to the end. But while you're going to talk about the parallel, so definitely your R and the C will be connected parallelly. So here if you're connected parallel means this is the capacitor, here will be that same resistor which is connected here, but you are connecting in the other value, the ranges are different and you are connected parallel. So definitely that ranges will be treated or that resistance will be treated as a conductance, and that is nothing but G is equals to 1 by R or G is equals to 1 by R or R is equals to 1 by G. They are inversely proportional to each other because this is connected serially, this is connected parallelly, okay. So at the time, capacitor will be always in parallel with your the conductance, whereas the resistor will always in series with your the inductor. So likewise, you can find that see here the series line, see here the bottom series line, middle is the parallel lines. So see the capacitors, which is the two conductors separated by the insulator. Okay, resistor value, the inductor self-inductance is there, 1 by G is the reluctance. So likewise, you can find is easily, okay. Now see here how the wave can be traveled with the help of the input voltage can be described V of t, that is in the time domain. So it is equals to Vc of cos of omega t. This is the voltage across the capacitors. Omega is angular frequency that is measured in the radian per second. How again the wave can be traveled, that is in the form of, if you're talking about the Z as an impedance, or you can say in the Z direction, because in the 3D, whenever you're talking about the electric magnetic views in the 3D. So one will be treated as electric field, one will be treated as a magnetic field, and other is in the other direction. So 3D form electric, magnetic, and the one will show the direction. So E and the M and that is in the Z direction with respect to time period T. So V is nothing but the Z and the T. So that if whenever you are talking about the along with your the particular direction, that is the Z. So you need to take care here the beta Z, that is nothing but the phase constant alpha plus J beta. So that is nothing but attenuation and the phase constant along with your the direction, particular direction. So beta is the propagation constant, the radian per meter is the unit. While you're talking about the current, how we can measure in the particular direction, how my current is flowing. Okay, that is too important. So IC cos of omega t minus of beta Z. IC cos of. So this is the current and voltages are influenced we can find easily. So how the phase of velocity and the wavelength we can find here, the sinusoidal waveform is there, and how we can find the wavelength, that is nothing but the lambda. Okay, here see here the lambda, here the maximum and minimum value of the lambda when the t is equals to 0, and see here whenever the what we can say 1 by 4 of lambda, that is nothing but small t is equals to capital T by 4, small t is equals to capital T by 2. So that is lambda is equals to 1 by 4 or lambda is equals to 1 by 2. It's depending upon that. This the see here the change in the waveforms. Okay, change in the waveform. How you can take how you the if once the wavelength is changing, the time period is also changing, small t. and the capital is nothing but the total time period of that t. This is the small instantaneous time period. So beta lambda is equals to 2 pi. So 0 to 2 pi is here. This part is nothing but the 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi. So this 0 to 2 pi, or in short 2 pi is nothing but the beta. Beta is nothing but the phase constant and lambda is the wavelength. So how we can find the beta is equals to 2 pi by lambda, angular velocity is nothing but the 2 pi f, Vp is nothing but the peak voltage or the propagation of velocity of propagation, that is nothing but distance by time. So in this way, Ft, V is equals to Ft. Okay, that is the frequency and the wavelength is nothing but the velocity of propagation. So omega by beta, that is omega is angular frequency and beta is a phase constant. If you want to measure, this is the ground velocity. Ground velocity is a d omega by d beta, that is in the form of a differential. So in this way, we have studied about the introductory part of the transmission line. What we can say, there are a lot of numericals on the basis of the transmission line. There are a lot of on the topic of the standing wave ratio, on the topic of the reflection and refraction, on the basis of the intrinsic impedance, on the basis of the power losses, that is a Poynting theorem. In all the cases, there are a lot of calculations are there. The designing part is there. Which cables are useful? Each and everything you need to take care while you're going to design the transmission line, the components which are placing, the values, the ranges, all these things you need to consider while you are going to study about the transmission line. Thank you so much.